Good afternoon, everybody. This is Rick Barber from Finest Photos, and good afternoon all you YouTubers out there. Glad to be with you today. I have an exciting program for you today. I'm going to be discussing singles profiles on dating websites. A lot of folks, from my understanding, I've been in and out of relationships over a lot of years. And I know what qualifies me, first of all, to do this video. One is I have reviewed, as a professional photographer, I have reviewed thousands and thousands of singles profiles. And so I'm going to be discussing 10 tips that will give you an effective, attractive singles profile. So I have some notes, so bear with me. And I think it's really important that when you as a singles person want to put up a profile, or if you already have a profile, hopefully my tips will help you and you can go back and you can edit your profile, because I have some wonderful, wonderful tips. And not only that, it's a good thing I waited until today, because today I reviewed a perfect singles profile and I'll discuss the ramifications of all that. So first of all, when you fill out a profile, make sure you fill it out fully. Usually singles websites will let you know, oh, you only filled out 50% of your profile, maybe 60%, 70%, whatever. In my last profile that I looked at was filled out 100%, okay? The more information that you put out there, people are going to be able to make a judgment as to whether they would like to get in touch with you or not. So very simply put. Photos. Okay, a couple of things about photos. One is put photos on your singles profile. I have reviewed many singles profiles. I don't know whether people are just getting onto the website, whatever, that I see that they have no photos. I mean, you know, people shouldn't judge you just by your photos alone, but your photos is another way of telling your story. And that's why I'm a professional photographer, because I'm all about helping to tell people's story. Okay, so photos. And make sure the photos that you are putting up, you know, I have to make a comment about selfies. I would say no selfies at all, because what I see what's happening with selfie profile photos is that the photos that people are posting on their singles websites are too pixelated. What does that mean? I won't go into the technical discussion of that, but basically it means that your photos are blurry. I've seen folks put up one single photo on their singles profile and it's totally blurry. Well, how is that going to attract anybody to your singles profile if at the get-go, the very beginning, that you have a blurry picture up there? So I would say definitely not. So my other reason for not taking selfies, and you know what? I just thought of something funny. Most of the selfies that I've seen that women put up on their website, and this video is for both males and females, but since I'm attracted to females, I don't go looking at male profiles. But what I've seen is most women, when they're taking their selfies, seem to do it in the bathroom. I really have to laugh. I laugh every time I see them. I say, my God, is that the only room in the house to do a selfie? I mean, I think that's pretty funny. Anyway, so I'm working on 10 tips. Okay, one I already gave you about filling out your profile. And don't lie. Don't put in false information, because you know what? Somebody's going to find out your true information down the road anyways. And here's a tip that I discovered one time. I wanted to compare a woman's profile on two dating websites, and I figured out from both of those websites she lied about her age to me, okay, when my information that's out there is all truthful. So don't lie, you know, it gives you a bad reputation. And it doesn't make for the beginning of a good relationship if you're gonna lie. What's the point? Okay, so photos. Okay, so I've covered photos, I've covered selfie photos. Hire a professional. That is, you know, if you really want to make yourself look good, if you want somebody, here's the key. If you want somebody to invest in your relationship, Don't you think it would be wise to invest in a professional photographer to take your photos so that you can have great professional photos, and photos that are not pixelated, too pixelated so that they're blurry? Again, you know, I see some in another thing about pets. People love to show off their pets. Well, you know what? Us guys aren't looking to date your dogs or your cats for that matter. And I'm going to use the example of a perfect profile that did include dogs, but I'll show you the circumstances. Okay, so I've covered 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yes, okay. So now up to 5. If the singles website has a wink function, which basically lets somebody know, hey, I'm into you, or I'm attracted to you. You know what? We've got lazy with all our technology, and our technology makes us lazy sometimes. Take the opportunity. It takes less than 30 seconds to say hello to somebody. You don't have to tell them the story of your life, because hopefully a lot of your story is already on your profile. So take the opportunity to write somebody a short profile. You know, even make a comment about their profile, because when you quote something or you make a comment about something they wrote in their profile that attracts you to them, they will stand up and take notice, hopefully, okay? This process is not easy, it's not perfect, and even when you do all the right things, people don't necessarily respond, because I've done it all. I've quoted people's profiles. I've been the most polite, manner person you could expect, and people still don't write back. And then I ask them, well, you know, I write back sometimes and say, gee, I never heard back from you. I was wondering why. Anyway, so, okay. All right, so the wink function. First dates, this is point number 6. First, I have my own bias about this. Other people don't. But, you know, if you're just getting to know somebody just from exchanging emails, maybe you've had 1 or 2 phone calls before your first date, maybe you haven't. So I think it's inappropriate, and this, again, this is my singles opinion. I think it's inappropriate for a woman to say, oh, how about, you know, first date, take me out on a movie, how about the dinner and a movie? Well, you know what, that's a great combination, but that's a great combination for maybe your 5th or 6th date down the road, not your very first date. Your first date should be brief, and when I say brief, anywhere from like a half an hour to an hour, and that's a good opportunity for somebody to at least beginning to get to know you. Okay, first dates. So again, that's my personal bias. Coffee. I mean, coffee, iced tea, iced coffee, date type of thing. I did that the other night with a singles gal, and we went out to a half-price bookstore. And so we had the opportunity to talk about the store, talk about the books that she was interested in, books that I was interested in, and sit down and just have a simple cup of coffee, and that's what we did. Simple. Keep it simple. The more complicated you make it, the more pressure you make it for a guy who has to feel obligated to pay for women, because, I don't know, even in this day and age, I don't have many women that have offered to take me out to dinner. I actually had a professional woman, and we were having a professional meeting one time. She claimed she was taking me out to dinner, and I wound up paying. I don't know what happened on that, but that was pretty comical afterwards. All right, so now we're up to point 7. Oh, for the guys especially, don't be posting anything close to sexual on a singles profile. Also, the gals don't want to see, oh, what kind of a big, muscular, hairy chest you have. That is like so inappropriate. You know, and I suppose the comparison that you could make is, if you were going out on a job interview, would you show up shirtless for that interview? Because what is the whole goal and purpose of that first interview? It's to make an impression, okay? And first impressions last in somebody's memory, believe me. So for you guys out there, please, none of that. Oh, and in terms of any exchanges of emails, no sexual verbalization in your emails. Guys, the women don't want to hear that. They're not impressed with that at all. They want to get to know you as a person, what your personality is, how they're going to be treated like if you can include sexualized verbalization in your email, you think they're really, I mean, honestly, are they really going to want to go out with you on a first date? I think not. Okay. All right. Okay. So I made my point about that. Oh, also, I thought that would include, and this pertains to both guys and gals, sunglasses. I would say sunglasses should be out. Even if it's sunny, find a shady spot. If you want somebody to take a picture of you or hiring a professional, don't be wearing sunglasses. What have we all heard in the past? The eyes are the windows to your soul. So we want, us guys, I know for me, being a very visual person, I want to see somebody's eyes because it says something about somebody's personality. I know I've seen some pictures of women on singles websites and they have like either a stern look or a mad look. And those that are cheery, those that are bright and cheery, those are the women that I compliment sometimes. I'll email them and say, "Boy, you have a gleaming smile." You know, it's like, I think a woman likes to hear positive things, you know? So that's another thing too when you are posing for pictures. And again, take the selfies out of the way. Put the cell phone away. Hire a professional. All right, okay, let's see, shirtless, okay. And something I briefly mentioned, I think in my first point about the profiles, be truthful. Don't lie about, you know, don't boast and say you're an expert in A, B, C, or D, or whatever, you know? I mean, and don't even over dramatize what you say. Oh, I do everything that you do. Well, you know what? I email some women and say, I have to do some things that you've mentioned, but like for instance, fishing. I'm not a big fishing guy. I know a lot of Texas women down here, they love to fish, and that's great, you know? Could I be interested? Fish that. You being a former Bostonian, I did fish when I was up in Boston. I fished in the ocean as well. But at this stage of the game, you know, I'm 67 years old. You know, fishing is not my idea of a date, but that's just my opinion. Okay, so lies. That was point 8, and this is 9. Specify, oh, this is very, very important. Please make note of this, very important. Please make note of what you will accept in somebody's behavior and what you won't. You know, I know for myself, having experienced what it's like to be in an alcoholic relationship, I've specified in my profile, you know, I'm not interested in dating alcoholics or drug addicts and people with OCD. Because I just have had bad experiences with those types of situations. So specify, be specific about what you like, what you hope to get out of a relationship. And also, okay, here's something about photos that I completely forgot. I'm glad. This is in point 10. Yeah, we're almost done with that. And then I'm going to show you a perfect profile. I'll talk to you about a perfect profile. You know, make sure that the photos that you are, I know a lot of my focus is around photos and, you know, whether it's because I'm a professional photographer, but I've seen women put up high school pictures of themselves. Who cares what you looked like 50 years ago? Nobody gives a rip about that. You might think it's cute, but put up age-appropriate pictures. And let's say you have it. Let's say you've had a singles profile for 4 or 5 years, whatever, and you have your old photos up there. Put current photos. All right, what is current, Rick? Okay, what I perceive as current photos, and this holds true in their professional businesses as well. Keep photos within 2 years. If your photos are like starting to get to be 3 and 4 or 5 years old, please update your photos. Update your photos. Oh my God, wouldn't you know it? Somebody's trying to call me. They can go away. Okay, that was in 10. Now, so, okay, all right, and I suggested about the time frame of photos. Okay, now what I want you to pay attention to, I'm not going to show you this. I might just, you know, briefly. This is my idea of a perfect profile. I have reviewed thousands and thousands of singles profile, and just a little while ago, like an hour and a half ago, I spotted this woman's profile. You know what I loved about her profile? Texas gal. She's pretty, okay? There's a headshot. That was her very first photo. No sunglasses, by the way. And also, she has a pretty smile on her face. And that caught my eye immediately. Now, again, if this was the same woman with a smile with sunglasses on, you know what? It wouldn't catch my eye that well, okay? So I wrote her an email, actually. I congratulated her on a perfect profile, and I told her I'd be talking about it. Okay, here's another picture of her. This is a portrait photo, and you know what? Yeah, because I see just headshots on a singles profile of the women out there, and that tells me, for me, that tells me that they don't want anybody to see the rest of their body. Now here's a woman who was out in the streets somewhere, Dallas perhaps, and she has a long photo of herself, and I imagine it is current. I'm pretty sure the photos are current. So that gives me a headshot view of her, that gives me a whole body perspective of her, and it's not like a super requirement, but you know what? She's out in the street, looks like she's been shopping with girlfriends or whatever. And then probably, I don't know, maybe it was around Christmas time. Now here's a group photo. Group photos are okay, so long as the person whose profile you're looking at is in the picture. And this gal, this Texas gal, happens to be in this picture, and she was with her girlfriends, evidently at Christmas time, because they have Santa's hats on. So anyways, and then in terms of pets, don't just put up pictures of pets. You know, we're not, like I said, we're not out there to date pets, a dog or a cat. Now, what she did, and I couldn't print out this photo, but she had a very nice picture of herself, and it was a close-up photo of herself and her two dogs that were sitting in her arms. So it was a very, very cute, attractive photo. Now, in terms of the overall profile, I'm going to keep this real short, and I'm going to wrap up this video because I know we're getting towards the end. Okay, and then when I said fill out a whole profile, what does that mean? Okay, well, here are her demographics. Okay, you know, her zodiac sign, height, weight, sex, body type, relationship, history, divorced, no children, whatever. Okay, and then she has 2 whole paragraphs about her story. And I'm not going to read all of her story, but basically she describes herself as, okay, and then she has a whole line of adjectives describing herself and her personality. Then her second paragraph, she starts off with, I think a successful relationship includes, and then she had all the perfect qualities that she would like to see in a prospective mate. I rated her a 10 plus on her profile. Why? Because she no selfies. She had somebody take her photo, probably, hopefully with a professional camera, not a cell phone, although some cell phones take decent pictures. But anyways, at least they're not selfies, and at least they're not in a bathroom somewhere, okay? And this shows her sociability. She obviously has friends of mixed races. And it says that, you know, and that tells something. Remember I said pictures tell stories. So this shows that she's a pretty open-minded person and likes to socialize with a variety of ethnicities, okay? And in terms of her dogs, yeah, okay, so she had dogs, but at least the dogs were not, at least she didn't have photos of the dog alone or a cat alone, which I see a lot in singles profiles. We're not interested in dating your pet. If you want to show that you have a pet, do it like this gal did. If you have a cat, you know, put the cat in your arms and have somebody else take the picture, not you. Don't do a selfie, okay? So those are 10 points about what composes and what comprises a comprehensive, attractive singles profile. You know, I see a lot of people, a lot of business folks like to be involved in the community and doing things for the community. So this is Rick from Finest Photos, and this is my way of giving back to the singles community. And I hope that you can appreciate everything I've said, and I hope everything makes sense. If it doesn't make any sense, or if you have any questions, you can email me at clickrick, C-L-I-C-K-R-I-C-K 523 at gmail.com. And that's a good way of getting in touch with me. And if you're out there on singles websites, you'll see me probably under my my business name. But anyways, I hope everything's been helpful. Again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to get in touch with me. And to end this video, we're just going to show my logo. Okay, so again, wrapping up here. This has been a long video. However, I thought it would be comprehensive and very helpful. This is Rick Barber, 1098-765-4321. Finest Photos, out.